Now, if you've had trouble with your takeaway, most likely what's going on is we're picking it up with our hands and wrist, and that club gets stuck to the inside. Well, I found most people are so focused on the club head that they just can't feel exactly what's going on. So even when they try to keep the club head out, they don't have any feedback knowing what to do to actually fix it. So the butt end of the club, if you think of it a little bit differently, is I have this club on plane or in line. The butt end of the club is going to be pointing more toward my body all the way until parallel to the ground, and then it's going to start to come up. If I suck the club back inside, as soon as that club head goes in, the butt end of the club starts pointing out to the right. So if you can imagine a laser shooting out of the butt end of this club, as soon as I get the club to the inside, that's pointing over there, and it would be nowhere near the edge of my body or the left side of my body. Well, there's a great little feedback drill you can do with something I almost guarantee you have laying around somewhere, which is an alignment stick. I'm going to take this and put it against my grip, and I like for it to stick out at least a good 3 feet. That way you can do a variety of drills that we're talking about here. So the first one is going to be, as I do my takeaway now, as soon as I bring it to the inside, you see how that comes off my body and my left leg? I'm going to work on feeling like I get that to stay against my body as I'm all the way in the back swing until my club's about parallel. So again, if we look at it from this angle, if I do my takeaway, if that club goes inside, it pops off. If I do this correctly, it stays against my left leg here all the way until the club's about parallel with the ground, and then it's going to start to come off my body. It also helps to shallow it out, which we'll get to here in a second, but first let's take care of the takeaway piece. Now, most of the time when you're bringing the club to the inside, it has to do with your weight shift and picking it up too early with my hands and arms without shifting my weight, without turning my body. So what I want to do first is I don't want to just yank it back with my hands and arms. I've picked everything up with my wrist here. I haven't rotated my body. You're not going to be able to hit it outside of your shadow if you do it that way. So that's one piece that's wrong, or the one piece that could be improved there. And number two, when I pick it up this fast, it doesn't give me time to get that weight shift to the right and then back through the golf ball. If you've been struggling with your weight shift, that's one of the root causes there is things are just happening too fast. So we're going to solve this. Put this where it's against your left hip. So if we're looking at it at setup, it should look just like that, touching my left hip. I should have enough pressure where I can feel it there. And then from here, the first move is going to be a little weight shift to the right. And then I start my takeaway. So it's a little weight shift. I feel some pressure on the inside of my foot, and then I start to move the club. I don't move the club back with my hands and arms and then start my weight shift. That's way too late. When you looked at the best players in the world and you test them on pressure plates, that shift to the right happens almost before the swing even starts. So I'm going to get a little pressure on the inside of my right foot, and then from there, instead of letting this club slide down or this alignment stick slide down my left leg, I'm going to feel like it stays up by my hip until my hands are about waist high. Now the reason I say that is because I want to be nice and wide and get that rotation from my shoulders. If I'm picking this club up and getting it to set very early like this, then I don't rotate my shoulders at all. So this is me taking it back all hands and wrist, no shoulder or body rotation at all. This is me feeling like it stays against my hip as I go back wide. So you shouldn't feel this slide down your leg right away. Now once I get to parallel and it's still touching around the top of my hip, then it's going to go ahead and set to the top of the swing. So weight shift early to the right. Feel like my hands are nice and wide as I'm going back, and my shoulders are rotating what feels like almost 90 degrees by the time my hands are parallel with the ground. And if you want to really perfect this, get the toe of the club, instead of it being open this way or almost fanning open, you want to feel like it's straight up and down or even a little bit closed is totally fine. If I have it open, I'm just going to be trying to play catch up with the face the entire downswing. So once I've perfected that little weight shift, nice and wide, then I'm going to go ahead and go to the top of the swing, and as I start down, if I want to shallow it out, I got to get the butt into that club or this alignment stick pointing toward the golf ball or outside the golf ball. Never inside the golf ball like this, or we're going to be steep, and man, it's just going to throw off everything in the downswing. So now here I am, I'm in my downswing. I have the butt in the club pointing toward the ball. And again, another checkpoint here is don't get your hands outside like this. I want to feel like my hands are inside or as deep as they can possibly be, so I'm coming from the inside. And then from there, I can rotate and still hit a nice draw. If my hands get out here, even if my club is pointing toward the golf ball, I'm in a bad position. I'm going to be chopping down over top of it, and it's simply not going to work. So once I shallow it out, I get my hands from the inside. Let me give you a couple checkpoints for rotating through the shot. Now, I want to be able to hit little shots like this doing this little drill. So I'm gonna go halfway back, get the butt in toward it, and then as I come through, I wanna feel like there's some space between this alignment stick and my body. So to come through, I don't want it to whack into my body. If it does, that means that I'm casting or flipping the club, and that's gonna make it smack into there. If you do this the right way and you get it from the inside, then you can rotate through, and you'll notice that there's a little bit of a gap, or if it hits your body, it won't smack into it hard. It'll just barely feel it in your ribs. If you feel it smacking in your ribs, slow it down, get it going at a really smooth, slow pace, and then we'll build it up from there. So let me go ahead and start out exactly how I would do this. Against my left hip, I'm gonna start out with some little mini shots. So against the left leg to here, and then I'm just coming back and through and hitting some little, 10, 15 yard shots to get the feel for this. There we go, really nice and solid, dead straight. That was a 8-iron I believe I have here. Yeah, 8-iron, and it went 60 yards. That's gonna feel like a chip shot with an 8-iron. That was very, very short. But I hit my checkpoints. I kept it against my leg, the alignment stick against my leg on the way back. I kept it from smacking into my side as I came through. And then I'm gonna build up to say an 80-yard shot or a 100-yard shot. And then eventually I'm gonna get to about 3/4 shots with this drill. You'll never be able to make a full swing speed, or it will start smacking into your body just from the forces that go into the club when it's at full speed. But this is a great little drill all the way up to little half shots. So let's go a little bit farther here. And that one, just left it a little bit open, and that's the tendency because you're trying to lead this shaft ahead. Sometimes it's easy to get the head open, but hit that one about 108 yards. Let me give you, that's a great time to talk about that. So what I don't want you to do here, if you're doing this correctly, is I don't want you to feel like, oh, I'm gonna keep this away from my body and just drag the club face open as I'm coming through. I want you to feel like as you come through, you're letting it get shaft lean, but you're squaring up that face. So pause at impact for me here and make sure that the leading edge of the club is square to the ball and not open like this, and the stick is still in front of your body. And that way you'll know you're doing it correctly. So I'm gonna go ahead and exaggerate here, get another nice little draw. Let's give it a whirl. There we go, so started a little bit to the right, but you can see that one's starting to draw back. That just means I had my path inside out and had the face releasing like I was supposed to. So that one, 116 yards, that's about all I want you to go with an 8-iron, middle iron, and then just gradually build it up to there. So this is a great one, I find, if you can hit a nice little tight draw on there, it really helps you to accomplish almost everything you're wanting to do. You get lag, you get shaft lean, you get a better takeaway, you get better rotation of your body coming through there, and as long as you can get that ball starting a little bit to the right and starting to draw back, then, you can't do this drill enough, really. Let's do one more. I'll exaggerate that draw. So again, I'm feeling like that face is closing on down. Let's give it a whirl here. Little half swing. There we go. And that was a nice tight draw. Really exaggerated on that time. And if you can do it that way and get that ball turning over from right to left, this is a fantastic drill. You're going to love it. Now there is one more thing with this. You see, a lot of times what I see players do is they get so quick from the top, they rush their downswing. The shaft would start pointing down toward the ground instead of shallowed out like that. And it makes it almost impossible to do what we were talking about with this alignment stick. So if I start rushing it and get steep, all of a sudden it's almost going to want to hit my leg. I'm going to smack it into my side really hard. A bunch of things are going to happen that you don't want to have happen. So if you want to make sure that you shallow it out and have a buttery smooth transition, there's a technical way of doing this. And I'm going to play a preview of a video that shows you how to do that. All you need to do is to see the full video is go ahead and click one of the cards that pops up on your screen. If you don't see one of those cards, don't worry, just go down to the link in the description below. You'll get instant access there too. Best of luck. Let's smooth out that transition, that downswing, so that everything we talked about here today is a whole heck of a lot easier. Let's go and get started. Now the bottom line is that if you pull this club down to ring that bell or pull the hands more from the inside, what's going to happen is you start to rush your downswing from that pulling, and that can throw off your sequence. And we all know that once your sequence gets off, that is going to be the root cause of all your problems. Now, maybe you're being outdriven way too often, or you're terribly inconsistent with your strikes. Some of your shots are heavy, some of them are thin, some of them are off the toe, and then the next ones are way off the heel. Now you end up way over in the trees, you're in the tall grass, or maybe even the hazards all day long, and it really comes down to this. Clay, how in the heck do we fix it? Well, there's some good news. Well, there's only two things that you need to learn. First, you need to learn to shallow the club rather than pulling the hands down and getting the shaft in this steep position. You see, there's another way that the pros do this, and once you start to get that club on this shallower plane, more from the inside, then you pair that up with the right way to square the club face. And once you put these two things together, everything starts to fit in your swing. Now your buddies will start to get a little bit jealous because you'll start hitting solid, longer drives, time after time, and round after round. Now I'm going to teach you this right now on what I call the E-slot technique. Let's walk through exactly how to do it. So here's what I want you to do. Go ahead and take a swing to the top and get in a really good position. I want you to feel like your weight is mostly shifted to your right side and that your hips and shoulders are nice and free. I don't want to be locked up here. I want my knees to move, my hips to move, and that's going to allow me to swing my shoulders very nicely. Now, one thing that most people get wrong when they swing to the top is they don't get this tilt away from the target. So instead of being straight up and down or leaning to the left, I want to be slightly tilted away in what I call the stable fluid spine in my topspeed golf system. Okay, so now that you're at this great position at the top of the swing, what I want you to do is instead of pulling those arms straight down or ringing the bell, that's going to get the club shaft steep and get this elbow kind of flapping behind your body. I want you to do something very specific. I want you to take the tip of your elbow and move it in a specific way. Now, not this small bone on the inside of your elbow, but I want it to be right here at the tip, and here's what I want you to do.